All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the music. Welcome back. Welcome back to your favorite WMMA show. One of two favorite WMMA shows, right? Hashtag CB99 Talks, episode 225. Over 200, man. Been doing this for a minute now. What's going on, y'all? We back. Had some decent fights this past weekend, but overall, we still waiting on the big ones, but hey, looks like we got something in the works. Man. I mean, let me think now. We got this one, and we got some stuff coming up towards the end of the month that I ain't going to talk about on this show, but yeah, big news here. Some crazy news, some shocking news, but just some crazy overall news here, man. But I'm going to go in on some things, not a great deal to talk about, because I got some food cooking too. So these are the three main topics that I want to jump on. Yeah, man, it's wild out here. People getting cut for wins, Dub can get you cut nowadays. So you gotta tread carefully. But I'm gonna talk about why I think she got cut too. It's something I always be talking about as far as, your performance too. Like, y'all already heard me talk about it before. Like, you can't just be doing enough. You just can't do enough nowadays, man. Like, especially if the UFC don't really like you like that. Like, let's be real. And there ain't nothing against Ketlin for us, right? But for the hardcore fans, we gonna tell the truth and say, hey, she deserves a chance because she won again. She has a place. But when the UFC is looking at like brands and superstars and all that jive, it's like, you better be doing something to win them over, You got to do something to win them over. But yeah, ain't nothing going on this weekend. Ain't no card this weekend. So, ain't nothing to get hyped about. Like I said, May has just been one of them months this time. Like, good month, because my birthday is this month, of course. But, last May was just like the best, Last May was just the best. I got 2 birthday gifts last month. I got 2 of the fights I wanted. But it ended on a crushing note, man. Aaron and Macy. I ain't gonna never forget that. I mean, that was a pretty bad feeling. Had I not had Valentina versus Manon and Natalia Silva versus Grasso, I would have been, I really would have been crushed. But this month here ain't offering too much with fights. Sure, I got some rain starting out my way, man. So it's kind of fitting the mood for the fight weekend, right? But anyways, man, yeah, I want to talk about Wayne Cong and Tracy Cortez. I want to talk a little bit about that fight, but we want to discuss this big news here: Dern versus Robertson. It's still not fully official, from my understanding. I haven't really seen anything like official. You know the official ones we talking about. We ain't we talking about like a big Marcel and so on, right? I still ain't seen it on his page or some of the other pages, but I can pretty much guarantee it's just waiting to be announced. That's all. Because I see Mackenzie Dern been out there doing a little promotion here and there. She's uh, not on Survivor, but I just saw her posing like with Survivor, like the promotion for it. And, she's been doing the gambling thing more and more. Like they've been putting the camera on her. So I don't know. So yeah, talk about that. Ketlin Vieira and her situation too. But hey, man, I want to talk about this real quick. I finally got to watch the fight all the way through because I ain't got ESPN anymore. I got to wait for the post on PFL. I'm going to tell y'all now on the YouTube page, post these fights the day after. Go ahead and post these fights the day after. Stop making people wait 2 or 3 weeks out, because if you go ahead and post these fights, it's going to bring up viewership, because first off, these ain't pay-per-view cards. This fight was on a preliminary card. So what is it going to hurt to go ahead and post this fight the next day? Go ahead and upload this fight the next day so we can catch it, because for us that ain't paying for the subscription anymore, we missing out on stuff. And these are the fights that need promotion, these WMMA fights. But yeah, I watched this fight, y'all. I watched it all the way through, man. Sabrina De Souza versus Shea Bowers. Man, I kind of see robbery here. Look, y'all know me. It wasn't even a split decision. It was unanimous towards De Souza. I think they had it, 29-28. Y'all watch this fight and tell me, man. Watch the fight on YouTube's page, PFL's YouTube page. I know, Marcus, you said you seen it. You kind of thought it was robbery. I think it was kind of a robbery, man. I like De Souza, but I thought when, we look at effective pressure and when a person is landing, that person should win the round, right? Like it wasn't a situation where Bowers was getting hit and missing and just coming forward and getting hit. She was landing some good shots on De Souza. She was landing some good shots in this fight. That first round, I thought Bowers started off stronger. She was landing some hard kicks and push kicks and body kicks. The middle of the round, I would say De Souza won. She started landing on Shea Bowers with some hard right hands. I think she did, cause Bowers to leak a little bit from the nose, but I saw Bowers close the round out strong in the first round, man. Like she was landing some nice knees. Like when she would get in the clinch, she would knee De Souza to the face, And then going into the second round, I thought Shea Bowers did a good job of again pushing that action. I thought she got a takedown one of these rounds. I think it was like the second round too. She took down De Souza, stopped one of De Souza's takedowns, and kept pushing forward. Like she took a few shots here and there, but I thought Bowers was doing what you need to do. You have to come forward and you have to land significant blows. And to me, she was doing damage. I thought she was doing damage where De Souza was trying to like keep her off. And none of the shots she was throwing was rocking Shea Bowers. Shea kept walking through these shots and hitting her with better shots. Like I would say like the only round I could give De Souza was probably the last round. I think the last round. I have to again go back and look because I just thought De Souza was on the back foot the majority of the fight, and she never really came forward. De Souza was landing some good like left hooks, but man, like Bowers was hitting her with a hard left hook every now and then. Like when she would step in, that left hook right hand combination. I don't know, man. Like it's weird because this was Shea Bowers' hometown, but she didn't get the decision. She didn't get the decision. Everybody was booing too, so maybe the booing was because it was the hometown crowd, but I think it was because they knew Bowers won the fight. Like the numbers didn't really match either. It looked like they were trying to push the numbers towards De Souza a little bit more, but I thought Bowers did enough, man. I saw it all the way through. I gave her like the first 2 rounds. You could argue she won the last round if you want to, man. I know that's two beast girl, De Souza. I like her too, man. I like her as a fighter, but she missed weight big time in this one too. It was a catch weight fight, and I could kind of see it affect her performance. She was a little bit slower here, man. Like definitely looked like a bantamweight. Definitely looked like a bantamweight in this fight. Bowers is big though, man. Bowers, she's more muscle, but she was gonna make the weight. She was gonna make the weight, but it was De Souza who missed it. So it was like a catch weight, I think like 134 or something like that. But I just thought that she did enough, man. For real. I thought she did enough to win the fight. Go watch it. It's there. It's on PFL's YouTube page, and get back to me on that. But I still see her as a problem. I still see her as a problem for some of these girls in flyweight. Would you say Dakota says she's fighting in July? Okay, yeah. Well, she's not fighting Liz Carmouche. I'll tell you that now, because Liz already got an opponent. She could be fighting. I think she's fighting Paulina Verniska, maybe. Or they might be giving her Shea Bowers, and she's coming off a loss. Who knows? Nah, Lipsky's already got a fight. Lipsky's going to be fighting Jenna Bishop. So they might be. I hate to say it again, man, like with Dakota coming off an injury and how they play favoritism. And this ain't Dakota. This ain't nothing against Dakota. I know y'all Dakota fans gonna get mad, but they're gonna give her somebody that ain't even ranked. I bet you they are, man. Like, it ain't got nothing to do with Dakota's skill set. I ain't trying to question her, but they're gonna give Dakota somebody that ain't ranked, man. They're gonna give her somebody that ain't ranked to kind of continue to milk it. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm ready to see her fight Liz, but Liz already got an opponent. She could fight Paulina, but I really doubt it. I bet Dakota will fight Denise probably. Yeah, man. I know. Yep, Dakota, Denise. Yeah. BJ said that better not be Montana. That would be a bad idea. BJ finally seeing the light. Dang, man. You think Montana gonna get? I thought you didn't want no fight from Montana like that. Come on now. You don't believe in Montana? You think she gonna get? He says a bad idea. Wow. Dang, man. I mean, it probably is, man. Like, at this point of their careers, when we look at like confidence and big girl, I don't know. I don't know, man. Like them shots is real. Like I can see that. I agree with you. Yeah, it'd be a bad idea for Montana. I mean, you said it's a bad idea for Dakota. I don't know. I don't think so. Nah, I gotta go with Dakota at this point. Because Montana, she been out for a minute, man. She been out for a minute, like activity wise. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I really don't. I think her clinch game too fierce. When I just compare, like, even the situation with Macy Barber, nah, you ain't selling me on that this time, bro. Nah, especially like clinch game wise. Look, clinch game, Dakota's clinch game versus Macy's clinch game. Shoot, man, like that clinch, that Muay Thai clinch, it's gonna be a beast on Montana at this point. She can't win in them type of clinches, like body shots and elbows. She had nothing against Macy. I'm gonna be real, like, and you try to convince me she was gonna win. Nah, like, not this time. Dakota by TKO, man. I'm serious. Like, if they do that, it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea for Dakota, man. This one here, Macy, she built different. Dakota's built different than Macy. They better give her somebody legit, man. Like, I want to see somebody in this ranking. I really do. But Shay, man, she held up strong. She held up strong. Like, she walked through a lot of these shots. I want to hear what 2Beast his thoughts are on Sabrina, De Souza. Like, I ain't trying to put you on blast, 2Beast, but I'm just saying, like, I know you was telling me about her, and I've seen her fights, and I like her, but she lost this fight. You gotta tell me what you thought, man, since you follow her. Like, I thought she lost the fight, for real. For real. But yeah, at least PFL is bringing in some good girls here, man. They're bringing in some good girls. BJ said Macy beats up tall girls in the clinch though. No, BJ said, yeah, Macy beats up tall girls in the clinch. Yeah, she beat up Montana in the clinch, but you know, I don't know. I don't know. Not this time around, man. Like, I think when you dealing with a full established Muay Thai fighter, because let's be real, like Macy Barber may be in the UFC, but Dakota, I believe her Muay Thai and stand-up game is fully polished. Like, I don't know about her wrestling, but her commitment to striking and knocking people out is so much deeper than Macy Barber's. Am I wrong? Do I got to do a video on that? Do I got to do a video on that to explain it to you? Like, Macy Barber has power, but how many people has she knocked out? Dakota, they know she got power. She came from Muay Thai. Look what she does. You know, I'm just saying, like, they've nurtured her. Like, they've nurtured her. They let her grow. And her kickboxing, her Muay Thai, you know, her front kicks, all of that is fierce. Her setup of a knockout is fierce. Her body punching is fierce. Macy Barber, on the other hand, you know, she can hit hard, but she don't set things up like that. You know, she just don't set things up like that. That's why I think even though she hasn't made it to the UFC yet, like her striking is superior to a lot of girls that don't really have striking like that. You know, and it take, you know, it's taking time for some girls, but she came up in this background, so we can't knock that. Yeah. Who is a threat to Dakota? I think Shea Bowers, her style can be a threat to Dakota. Like, I really do. Like, I think Shea Bowers' style, because she is durable. Like, I wouldn't want Shea Bowers to go in there and take as many punches as she did in this fight. But I like how she kind of deflects punches. She got big shoulders. She kind of turns her head a little bit, you know, to take some of the impact off of punches. You know, she switches foot, you know, she knows how to switch stances, and she snuck up on De Souza, man, and took her down. She took her down with a good, you know, good sneaky takedown. So, you know, if she's able to do that against Dakota, get past some of them body kicks, if she gets her striking to a level where she can kind of fool Dakota into a striking match, yeah, most definitely. Like, she's got that. I think she's got a threatening style. You know, you said so. Shea Bowers has a better chance in Montana. Absolutely, absolutely, man. Like, watch this girl fight. Watch this girl fight. I'm gonna put you on somebody new, just like Aaron, man. I'm gonna put you on somebody new. Watch Shea Bowers, man. Look how many girls she finished, and look how she's evolving. Like, look at her footwork versus Montana right now. Look at her footwork. Look how she protects her nose. Like, she was bleeding a little bit because she took some jabs, but her level of defense right now, early in her career, is better than Montana's was in her early career. Like, this girl don't take like a lot of clean shots. She knows how to like deflect some of these shots. Like, her footwork is better. Her footwork is already like better than Montana's. You know, ain't coming forward, you know, flat footed. So yeah. He said, "Oh, what's up, Tay Tay? Tay Tay? Oh yeah. Oh, you think Shea Bowers could get mauled in the clinch? I don't know. She's pretty strong. She's pretty strong. I don't know. She's pretty strong in there. Like, possibility, you know, depending on how well you can take a knee, but I really don't see her getting mauled like that because she's strong. You know, that's why I saw her fighting. What's her name? Shannon Clark. You know, she's like a strong judoka or wrestler, whatever. But physical strength wise, I think she has it. But it all comes down to her defense going into a fight, though. It really does. Because really, man, like, I don't know. Like Marcus was saying, if they do that Denise Kielholtz fight, that's gonna be a nah. I don't think so. But anyways, man. Anyways, what what is this all about, man? What is this all about? Ketlin Vieira getting cut, man. Like, and they always try to make it sound sweet, or you know what I mean? Like, she removed from the roster. She got removed from the roster, right? Like, just call it what it is. She got cut. You know, they cut Ketlin Vieira, man. Like, I can see, like I said, I could kind of see some situations why, and I'll go into why, but let me pull it up here. I know Kobe Covington, he's gone, right? Kobe Covington, he's gone now. Excuse me. I thought they was his people, man. I thought they had his back like that. I said, you ain't nothing, man. It's like, you ain't gonna be on no White House card. He went through all that Trump loving and ain't even get a spot on the White House card. That's messed up. Anyways, let's see. Ketlen Vieira, ranked number 5. Ketlen won 10 of 15 UFC fights in nearly a decade fighting for the promotion. A run that includes big wins against Sarah McMahon, Kat Zingano, Miesha Tate, and Holly Holm. Vieira bounced back between wins and losses in her last 6 fights. Kayla, Rocky, Norma. All right. So, all right. Anyways, all right. I don't agree with cutting her right now because, number one, I think Ketlen Vieira, she kind of set a bar. Like, let's be real. She set a bar. She set a bar for these other girls to step up to. All right. You can still kind of use her for that, like a Chikagan or Angela Hill. That's why I think you need fighters like that. You need these type of fighters. And if you don't have these type of fighters on this level, like even at the top 5 or top 6, some of these other fighters that's coming up ain't really gonna have a test, So I think it's important to have girls like this and Jennifer Maia, right? Even BJ or Jennifer Maia, Jennifer Maia in there. Those kind of girls provide that test because we talked about that before. I know you said that. I said that you would like to see Jennifer Maia versus Aaron. And she sets a bar. Same thing at flyweight. Jennifer Maia set a bar because you see what happened. Jennifer Maia fought Casey O'Neill. She lost. She needed that type of bar to be set. I think same thing here. Like Ketlen, she's on that pattern where she doesn't do enough. But I think if you kept her around, she wouldn't mind at this point, because like I said, she never really fought to a level to be a champion, but she fought enough to hold down her career. So that's the plus side. The minus side is I'm still here. I'm just, you know me, look, I'm just trying to be nice, but I'm gonna be truthful too. Like the minus side here of Ketlen and why she got cut is because she boring, right? I hate to say that because I'm a fight fan and I love different styles of fighting, but when you don't go in there and push it sometimes and you do just enough to win, they ain't gonna really have strong support. Fighters like that ain't gonna have strong support, even from the fans or even from the UFC. Like if you're not backing it up like Priscilla Cachoeira, who how many fights did Priscilla Cachoeira lose? Hold on. Give me a second. Because she's a perfect fighter to name. Priscilla Cachoeira, still in the UFC, getting beat down, but still beating people down. All right. Priscilla Cachoeira, she's 1-5, right? She's 1-5 in her last 5 fights. Got choked out by G-Rob at one point, beat Lipsky, beat Jin Yoon Kim, beat Gina Mazzani, lost 3 in a row to Luana Carolina, Molly McCann, Valentina Shevchenko, right? Fighters like that still have a place. You know why? Because they're still exciting, right? They still bring some type of level of entertainment. So I think, definitely one of the reasons they saw fit to cut her is because they think she's just kind of in the way. And I hate to say it like that, but if you're listening, let's be real. They don't want a fighter that kind of holds up the division. And that's probably what they were mad at. There's probably like either Ketlen knock her out, either Ketlen need to go in there and knock out Jacqueline Cavalcanti or submit her so we can put eyes on her again and keep her around to think of her as like, rebounding off her career. Do that. Or you got to go. Because it's like, let's say, in the flyweight division at the top, okay, with Grasso losing to Valentina, and then losing to Natalia Silva. She bounced back with a good knockout win over Macy Barber. Manon loses a title shot. She bounces back with a win over Jasmine by knockout. Okay. Erin, she loses to Manon, bounces back with 2 wins over Rose and Tracy Cortez by finish. So these girls, they bounce back quick, and they do it in devastating fashion. But Ketlin, when she comes back after a loss, she come back the same way. She'll come back the same way. Either wins boring or lose boring. To me, I think exciting loser is going to have a longer career than a boring winner. Does that make sense? Does that make sense for y'all? Think about that. I'm gonna be right back, but think about what I just said. What's up, Johnny? He said Tai Tuivasa shows losing streaks are overlooked if you are exciting. Right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Exciting loser is gonna be more profitable to the UFC than a boring winner. And I know that sounds messed up, but that's what they're looking for. That's what they're looking for, right? All right. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. 2B said, you're right. Yeah, man. 2B's talk to me, man. What happened to Sabrina De Souza? Don't overlook that question. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, WMMA friends. What's up? Back again. No, just like I've been gone that long. Tay, what's up? Robot, what's up? I'm just stretching, so let me just say what's up here. Stamina, Robot, Tay, Zach, Colostrum, Johnny, and I guess BJ. No, just BJ O'Neill, BJ De La Rosa. Oh man, I got back from BJ. You just got done working out. I went for a hard walk. I put the weighted vest on and I went for a walk. Man, I'm telling you, man. I didn't know it was gonna be like 90 degrees too. I think a weighted vest walk sometimes is tougher than like a run with no vest. Cause I went walking up hills, man, boy. I ain't done that in a while. Like I'll walk, but when I put on this heavy vest, because I'll either walk or run, right? I walk or run without the vest. And then I put that vest on today. I walked like 2 miles with it in the heat. Man, that was a bad idea. I mean, it wasn't a bad idea. I just need to get used to it again. Because it's been a while since I used the weighted vest. I used to use the weighted vest like 3 years ago. But I put the weighted vest on, BJ, man, and I went walking. Whew, man, 90 degrees. I said, nah, I ain't lifting no weights today. I'm going to chill. Like, that was enough. That was enough for me today, man. And it was hills, too. Like, this wasn't no straight walk. My heart was pumping. They said, now it's cold. I'm going to end up getting sick. I got sick last month because of the weather. I mean, y'all heard me. I was sick. Because my weather was like, I'm talking weather here was going from 40 to 80, 70 to 90, 30 to 60. And I was traveling. So when I would come back from a cold place, I'd come back to a hot place. So my body was shocked. And I woke up sick one day. So that's how bad it was. BJ O'Neill. Yeah, BJ O'Neill works perfect stamina. 2B said, ask me next time you go live. I will have watched it by the end of Saturday. Oh, okay. I thought you had watched it. But yeah, watch it. It's on PFL's channel. Give it a watch and we'll talk. Matter of fact, you just jump on. If you want to jump on the Mashup Tuesday, you can tell me about it. So, because I think, that'll be the next time I go live. Because I'm busy this weekend. So, I won't go live until next Tuesday. this Carolina weather ain't for the weak. No, it's not. Like, you got to be careful now too, because it's been bringing about pneumonia in a lot of people too. So even though it's nice out, sometimes I try not to go out because of the big change, the pollen and then that heat, so it's nice to go out, but you can't, because when the weather drops, you wind up getting sick. So yeah. To be said, I really don't miss the weather outside of South Florida. Yeah, I like a 70 to 80 day, but it's got to be consistent. Like when it drops, it's hard to take a chance. Like now it's going to be hot, so I'm ready for it. I just got to break into it. But anyways, going back to Ketlin, y'all, I would put a poll here. You can put a poll on the YouTube page, not the YouTube page, but on the yeah, you can, right? Hold on. Let me see. Where do you put that poll at, man? I'm gonna just ask y'all. I don't care. What do y'all think about Ketlin Vieira getting cut, man? Like, do y'all agree with it? Yes or no? Do y'all want to see her cut? Where's the poll? Where is it on this StreamYard? I don't use it on StreamYard much. Where is it? Hold on. Okay, just a second. All right, give me a second here. I know I saw it one time. Hold on. Where is it at now? Give me a second, y'all. It seemed like they would put it right by the comment section. Hold on. I don't see it there. I don't see it there. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Where you do the overlays. Hold on. Oh, yeah. I see it. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Like I said, I wouldn't have cut her, but I understand, because it is like entertainment. This is how it is. But that's why in boxing, that's why this is one of the negatives of being in the UFC versus being in boxing, because boxing, you can still fight. Like, people can duck you, but you'll still be able to find certain fights, or you can still get on. It's hard, but when you get on, you can fight some big fights, like some good 5-figure, 6-figure fights, and hold on to that money, because we know that's more money than these UFC fighters are getting, But I think it was partly Ketlin's fault when you look at it in the entertainment aspect. But to me, yeah, like I said, I would have kept her around because she brought a test. Like, let's be real. She brought a test, right? And I mean, we talked about it, right? I couldn't pick Cavalcanti as much as I was cheerleading for her. I couldn't, because I said Ketlin's going to go in there and probably give her some experience, and she's probably going to win the fight. But I guess they saw the part of it I saw, because after that fight, I was like, dang, man, Ketlin did just enough to crush our dreams. Not to give us another contender, right? Like, Ketlin didn't make us say, oh, yeah, Ketlin ready to whoop Amanda or whoop Juliana Pena, whoop Kayla. She didn't do none of that. She just did enough to make us sad. And I think that's why the UFC was like, man, get her out of here. Like, she ain't even go in there and knock this girl out. She just did us a disappointment. So, I mean, that's how you got to look at it. That's how they have to look at it. Even like Ketlin, she got to go back and look at the resume and see kind of where, she slipped up, because you got to go in there and get some knockouts. Like, I'm just asking y'all. I already know, but how many people has Ketlin knocked out in the UFC? That's another question. Answer that question. I ain't gonna put no poll up. Just answer in the comment section. How many people has Ketlen Vieira knocked out in the UFC, and how many people has she submitted in the UFC? We just said 0. Okay. Robot said, yeah, 0 killer instinct, which equals 0, right? Johnny, he said she's going to do well in the PFL. The same as Chikagan, 0. But you know what? Chikagan still was exciting to me. Like, something about Chikagan was a little bit more exciting. Like, her fights were still having like a level of drama. She knocked herself out, submit herself. I know who submitted herself, Poliana Viana. But yeah, like she don't have any. We just said, yeah, she don't have any, man. Like she don't have any big finishes or big memorable finishes. Had she had maybe more where she got knocked out, might be a little bit more of a chance of keeping her, because that means she's putting herself out on the line, which I really wouldn't recommend. Like, don't go in and get yourself knocked out, but be a little bit more, threatening and exciting. Don't play it too safe to the point that you ain't really taking girls to school either. Like, Angela Hill's still here. I mean, what's Angela Hill's record? Like 15-16 now? But I can guarantee you, she'll at least get 2 or 3 more fights, maybe. Hers might be more of age if she gets cut at this point, which we can all say it'd be about time, because Angela Hill fought the who's who. But Ketlen Vieira, she never lost that bad, but she never won that good either. See, she just got me saying things. I'm like, yeah, man, like Ketlen never lost horribly, except by, the Yana Santos and Irene Aldana, but she never won that impressively. Even when she could have knocked out Miesha Tate or Holly Holm, she didn't do that. She didn't knock either one of them out. Frank, what's up? He said, did you watch Eileen Pieta versus on MVP? I did. She did all right. She did okay. Jade gave her some work. She definitely ain't her brother, right? And nobody's ever gonna be the same, but I don't see her as like a huge threat to anybody in the UFC at all. Pieta. She did lose to Shea Bowers too. Marcus said, don't forget Ravina Oliveira. Yeah. Yeah. So I hate to go on this, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about this situation, because, Ketlen, she had a lot of good things going for her, right? Like, commit to something, you this big, be physically imposing, be a brawler, be a tough clinch fighter, be dirty in there, use your elbows, knees, get up in there. She got a heavy right hand and a heavy jab, heavy hands. So it's like, Ketlen, do something, work with Alexa Grasso, become a heavy-handed boxer, fight physical, make people want to tune into your fights and beat these girls up. You can't be big for nothing, man. Like, get in there and get it. Rimsey said, if she did get a finish, I didn't hear about it. Right. I mean, not in the UFC. Did she stop? Did she fight? Is she the girl that fought Kelly Fatchholtz? Did she fight Kelly Fatchholtz? And that was a close fight. She fought Kelly Fatchholtz almost like 10 years ago. Oh, okay, yeah. She did submit Sarah McMahon, but she didn't even choke out Kelly Fatchholtz. She choked out Sarah McMahon. So yeah, the UFC, like Tay said earlier, they was cleaning house. They was looking at resume. They really was looking at resume hard. They said, all right, you got wins, but what you doing with those wins? Are you stopping people? When was the last time you stopped somebody? Oh, Sarah McMahon, that's it. And now on top of that, you barely making it through, and you already lost like to Kayla. Nah, you got to go. So there's the resumes in the UFC, they looking at them. Again, I wouldn't have cut her. But man, like, because there was still some work she could have done for the other girls. They can build off of that, but the UFC, they looking to move on. I'm thinking someone. I think cutting someone after a win is a bit nasty, but I can understand, right? I thought it was, but in the fashion that she won, yeah. I think she's too big to move down, Johnny. Honestly, man, like if she tried to move down to flyweight, I don't think that would work. Yeah. Like Stammer said, she misses at 135. So yeah, I don't really think there was like a home for her. Like PFL featherweight, that's all I can think of. PFL lightweight, going over there. Fight the Julia Buds and so on. PFL, they'll take her. PFL, they took Tyler Santos and Viviane Araújo. They taking all the Brazilians. Lipski. So yeah. Yeah. But all right, y'all. Let's move on here. I know y'all want to talk about some big things here. Let's talk about something that's in the works. All right. We got Mackenzie Dern and Jillian Robertson in the works for UFC 30? I know it ain't official. Still to be determined. But let's look at some latest here. About a day ago, they said, look, building a stat card for UFC 330. Who gonna be on this card? Because I saw somebody. Did somebody send me? I think Marcus sent me something. Valentina versus Natalia Silva in that same card. I don't honestly think they would put two WMMA championship fights on the same card. I think they would kind of spread it out. Let's see. They got Dricus versus Joe Pyfer up here. But I thought they were going to try to do Dricus versus Usman. Jillian versus McKenzie. You got Ian and Islam up here. And I think some of this is just like tentative stuff because Usman and Dricus, I thought they were in talks. But anyways, I haven't seen anything official here. But if this is official at this point, I mean, I know some people are kind of on the fence about this one. Some people still think that it could have been Tatiana Suarez. I personally would have maybe given Jillian Suarez. Let's see how she pushes herself to the former title contender level, just to give her some time to get some work in. But now that it's here, it's like, why not? Right? Why not now? I mean, it's a fresh face, and it's a fresh title defense for Mackenzie Dern. Gives Mackenzie Dern a chance to build her confidence as a champion and, push herself and her brand in the right direction. Because let's be real, I know Wei Lee, that fight makes sense because, Wei Lee deserves, a shot to go after she goes back down. She deserves a shot to get, try to get her belt back. But at the same time, Mackenzie Dern, I don't think she's going anywhere anytime soon. I think Wei Lee may be on the cusp of retiring, right? She could be like, she could fight, win the belt, then retire, and then we'll be back to kind of back to square one where the belt might be vacant if she retires. But it kind of gives Mackenzie Dern on the plus side a chance to build her brand and make herself the new face of the flyweight division, whether you like her or not as a champion, you think she's proven. But I think now where she stands, she has the right to fight somebody else, like, meaning not her choice, but her to choose. But if they give her somebody else now and she defends her belt, benefits her to grow. Now. And Jillian, this is real, man. Like, this is big for Jillian, man. This is like this is the furthest she's ever gotten. Because honestly, at flyweight, let's be real, she had no chance up there, because the girls are too big, too different, too well-rounded. But strawweight, she fits here, like size-wise and her improving. Jillian's more of a problem at this weight. So good on Jillian. You know, she's finally made it. It was a long time. It was a long time. Let's be real, right? Like, I've never said she wouldn't at this weight because it was never like a serious scenario for me because I thought she was going to ride her career out at flyweight. But when she moved down, she started moving on. Kind of like Grasso. You know, Grasso, when she moved up, she got there. So I'm not going to count Jillian out in this one. I'm not going to rain on Jillian's parade here and say, oh, she don't deserve it. Now that it's made, anything can happen. Let's be real. Anything can happen because, yeah, I made that mistake with Grasso, like thinking that Valentina was going to go in there and just run through her. But see what Grasso did. She was ready. So Mackenzie Dern ain't even like that same champion like Valentina. So we can't say Jillian doesn't have a good chance. Like, Jillian's been here and there, but on the other side, I could see Mackenzie Dern being a problem too, you know, which, give me a second, I'll explain. I'm going to check something one more time. Be right back. All right, I'm back. Okay. So, all right. Bluebird, what's up? He said, tough fight for Jillian, but it would be great to see her get a win. Johnny said Jillian could have been the female David. Yeah. Yeah. Two beasts. This would be an amazing matchup if it gets locked in. And Closum said Jillian needs to land in side control and we wear Dern down with ground and pound. Yeah. I think that, yeah, now that this fight could be locked in and Jillian's probably that fighter to get it, I ain't gonna like counter out because I think, yeah, she could have a chance, definitely has a chance. But like I said, on the other side, when I look at the technical aspect, I think Mackenzie Dern has some of the things that has neutralized Jillian in the past, and that's what she kind of has to avoid. Like, when this fight's fully announced, we're gonna break it down, man. We're gonna do a first look for sure. Because you know the UFC, they could do a 180 man and do Whaley versus Dern. They might do 180 versus Dern. So I don't know, but I like the fact, you know, Jillian, hey, she did all this work at 115 and she's in the position now. Dern, yeah, technically she's gotten a little bit better in certain areas than Jillian, like the striking. She's committed to it. You know, her punches when they connect, she's got power. But this is Jillian's chance to, you know, take control of the ground, you know, be familiar, take her to familiar waters, you know, and be able to wrestle a little bit more. Yeah. And wear Dern down, get on top and get that top position. Because Jillian does work the ground and pound. Jillian's got good ground and pound. Mackenzie, she works the ground and pound too. So it's going to be a fierce fight on the ground if it happens. But this is where like that physicality and strength of like Dern might kick in. You know, like I said before, Jillian's got to be able to get past, you know, she's got to adjust to those weaknesses of the past. Like when you look at girls like Miranda Maverick and Tyler Santos, that kind of neutralized her on the ground. You know, we're looking at a another specialist on the ground, a BJJ specialist like them. So she has a good chance to neutralize the jiu-jitsu and even work her own ground and pound. Looking at Dern. So I think Jillian's got to really make it interesting, even on the feet, like a lot of straight punches, mix the fight up, use lateral movement here and there. Don't get into like a trade punching match with Mackenzie Dern. Like if she's going to work striking, you got to move a little bit and, surprise with the takedowns and get the fight, to where she feels comfortable, the position she feels most comfortable with. Yeah, I think this fight it should be good because I think this is what Jillian's been preparing for. This is what she's been preparing for. So we'll see. Zach said Jillian has been mauled before too. Yeah. She's been controlled too, flyweight. That's what I'm saying. Like some of the girls like Tyler were able to control her. But this weight might fare better where she feels stronger, right? BJ said Dern has never faced anyone who's confident in their ground like Jillian, right? Zach said, but Dern isn't really a wrestler like that. Jillian got mauled by big flyweights. Yeah, big flyweights. Yep. Bluebird said, Dern is an aggressive beast. I don't know that Jillian can get her respect. I would be happy if she could prove me wrong. Yeah, I think that like Jillian's really good on the ground. She really is. But she's got to have like all fights start standing, right? All fights start standing. And to me, even the best grapplers and practitioners on the ground with jiu-jitsu, you have to have like a level of, you got to have like a good straight jab, man. Like to me, that's just me. Like you got to have some good punches to sit down on to really like get your opponent thinking and to kind of disrupt them. Like Aaron, I think Aaron, she may get hit, but she's going to give some back. And I honestly haven't seen, like here we get, this is where we get real. I honestly haven't seen Jillian ever clock anybody like with a good clean shot that made me kind of jump up or just say, oh, maybe I have, maybe somebody has refreshed my memory, but let me ask y'all in the chat, like has Jillian ever landed like a couple of big shots in a fight to, really consider like, okay, the hands have improved, or okay, she got a little power that she's hiding. Has she ever hit anybody with a shot? Even Verna, I know Verna, Verna, didn't Verna drop Ebos, or she kind of rocked Ebos a little bit, and she landed good shots on Dern before, what about Marina Rodriguez? Like in that fight, did she land any big punches in that fight? He says she clocked Lemos with the elbow out of the clinch. I mean, like, what about like a good solid punch that's been set up? Not like an inside elbow or clinch elbow. I mean, like, just like a good setup right hand or kick. Like Aaron lands good head kicks, whether it's on Fior or whoever. She lands some good head kicks. She lands some good punches on Rose. Who else is she, land some good shots on? She's landed some clean shots on a number of fighters, even before she got a fight to the ground. So I think, yeah, Jillian's got some good technique at it and, strength at this weight. But yeah, it's just a few of them things like that I think she's going to need going into this fight, because you're going to see a mix from Dern. You're going to see punches and you're going to see grappling from Dern, just like you saw in the Verna fight. She's going to give you both. She's going to give you both in all her fights. Like even lost the Lemos fight, but you still saw it in there. Lupi fight, you saw grappling and striking. Verna rematch, grappling and striking. So best believe when she fight Jillian, you're going to see her landing punches and going for takedowns and grappling, So I just think that it's going to be wise for Jillian to really like develop that long jab. She's long and lean, in this fight. She's got to be one to really stick that jab out there. She landed good body kicks on Waterson. Okay. Is she going to be going to body in this fight, though? Is that wise? Because, Dern might take her down or counter her body kick with a right hand. I'm just saying, like, I just need to see, like, a good stiff 1-2 from her. 1-2 right down the pipe. Who is the strongest? Who would you say is the strongest? You said strength is the main thing I'm concerned for about Jillian. Like, probably got to say Dern is, though, right? Dern's probably stronger. Proven strength, right, at this weight. Let me see. Who's got the longer reach? Not that it really matters if you don't know how to use it. Mackenzie Dern gives up her reach by leaping in sometime, but she's working on it. All right. Mort Robertson, 63-inch reach. Let's see. Mackenzie Dern. Oh, they both got a 63-inch reach, so all depends. Johnny said Dern looks stronger in the pics you're using. Yeah. I mean, she looks stronger too, overall in her fights. I mean, she's always proven that she's willing to clinch up and really get in there and take girls down. And you see her take down some big girls. Stamina said, I reckon strength and power both skew Dern's way. Wouldn't put cash down on it though. Nah, like I really wouldn't either, because I still think Dern's got that. I still think Robertson's got that animal in her, and she's got that wild card where anything could happen, especially like that submission threat at this point. Anything could happen. But yeah, those are some big factors. Strength and power are going to be a big one. And I still believe Jillian's going to have like some good strikes. She's going to have some good strikes to get the respect in here. Not even if she plans to win the fight on points or strikes, but you got to get her attention, man. You got to get her attention like Lemos did, Andrade did. Even if you can't hit that hard, but you got to land some technical shots. Shion Jana, Marina Rodriguez. You ain't got to be the best striker. Like, so many people misunderstand. Well, I know BJ, you do. I'm gonna call you out because you're here, but that's how I do. I'll call you out when you're here. Y'all used to always get on me about that when I'm telling a person that they need to get better with their hands, like whether it's her or another wrestler or grappler. Like, ain't nobody saying you got to be the best, but it's like you got to have something, man. Like, what is his name, man? Like, who just beat Lerone Murphy? I always forget his last name. Evelev, right? Evelev ain't the best striker, but Lerone Murphy was considered the better stand-up fighter. But Evelev's shots and his jabs were really effective, and they made Lerone Murphy respected, right? Lerone Murphy, he was respecting them shots. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Appreciate that. I got it. So I'm just saying, like, even her as a grappler, like, you could maybe do something like that just with two basic punches. Like, Evelev was throwing a nice overhand right in that fight, or even like a left hook. Definitely, like I said, he definitely not the best striker, but it was an effective striker. So that's all I'm saying. Be an effective striker. You ain't got to be the best striker, but be an effective striker. Yeah, Juliana Pena, effective striker, effective jab. Ain't got the best defense, but still effective. She's still effective, Like, I ain't gonna lie, like when Lerone Murphy, when he was like getting hit with them big shots, I was like, oh boy, like he getting exposed right here. He getting exposed. Bluebird said, what happened to Jan Jana? She hasn't fought in over a year. She's still posting training videos. Like I just see her posting a lot of workout videos, not like heavy sparring or anything, but she's been on Instagram posting. Maybe if this fight gets scheduled, you best believe she probably gonna be fighting Suarez because Lemos is fighting Denise Gomes next. If y'all didn't know, Lemos and Denise Gomes are fighting. So Yan Jana and Tatiana might be fighting next. I'm just saying. Robot said Whaley smokes both. They better hope she's retired because that Val fight might have been her end game, win or lose. Possibly, yeah. Let me see. Johnny said, yeah, is an anomaly. He started as a grappler but became a striker when he came to the UFC. Yeah. Yeah. His striking, Deporia, his striking is on point. Looks great, you know. Didn't even have to reach that high level, but you know what I mean? But he makes it look, you know, like he's a natural. Smiling Aurora said, I'm taking Dern. Robertson striking is definitely not effective. BJ said Cormier's skill set was questioned and he's a GOAT. Like, where was it? Like, where was his skill set questioned? You mean, I don't know if his skill set was questioned. I think his IQ was questioned to me personally. Like, I mean, if somebody don't understand how to block a body shot after getting hitting that stomach like maybe 20 times, I'm just, you know, that's what I was questioning. I'm questioning his IQ, not his like full on skill set. Like he didn't know how to throw a strike, but it was like I don't know, he had like brain fog at that point. Yeah, Denise Gomes and Amanda Lemos is on lock in August, I think. Yeah, in August. But that's what it is, man. Like I just think this is going to turn out to be good. But there are some things that if they play out the way I think they do, it's going to be like, oh man, like that's what needed to be worked on. Like there are some things in this fight that push Dern over Jillian. Of course, the resume and the belt. I think the belt's already probably awakening a fire in Dern, but it's probably waking something up in Jillian because this is her first time fighting at this high level, you know. So I think both are going to be up for the fight. It's just a matter of, you know, Robertson making sure she's ready. She's ready. All right. Last thing, Wayne Cong and Cortez. Yeah, this is coming up July 11th. I still think that Tracy Cortez still got some fight left in her. Like she's not a horrible fighter or anything like that. She can be a problem, but she's gonna have to watch out. You know, I think that, you know, Wayne Cong is gonna be turned on. She called for this fight, so something tells me, you know, Wayne Cong is trying to prepare, you know, for what's to come, whether it's wrestling or looking for a knockout. You know, Tracy Cortez's boxing has gotten better. You know, it's gotten better over the years, definitely. But defense wise, like that's where she kind of lacks. Like Grasso's better at, I think, stepping at angles and keeping a high guard. But Tracy, she'll throw combinations, but she'll leave her chin out there. You know, she'll leave her chin out there. So if she lets Wayne Cong set any kind of pace in this fight, it could be a wrap, you know, if she's taking body punches and, you know, all kinds of straight singles or set up counter punches, you know, she could get dropped in this fight, right? Yeah, Cortez kickbox got way better, but yeah, now you're looking at a fellow kickboxer. So I think, honestly, you know, Cortez is going to have to kind of pull a Ketlin Vieira type of game plan, you know, try to intimidate Wayne Cong with your own strike. And then when she least suspect it, you know, you take her down, you know, get her down and, you know, start mauling and drowning her, right? Because I'm going to be real, like Cortez, yeah, her best bet is to win on the ground. And if she gets the fight to the ground, I think she does win the fight. Because, yeah, Cortez, We knock her right now because of the things she's been through, but it's like she's never really lost to this level of a fighter. Like when you run into a fighter like Rose, who's just done it so many times, yeah, okay, Rose got it like that. Aaron's on another level right now. Aaron just kind of surpassed Tracy with activity and just improvements. But this level here, Wayne Cong, she still has questions. That Eduardo Mora fight left a lot of questions to be answered still, like even on the ground. But Wayne Cong showed she had the ability to survive and adapt. So if Tracy's not mauling early, Wayne Cong has a good chance, to control her and get the fight where she wants it. 2B said, who's striking do we rate higher, Rose or Wayne Cong? We definitely rate Rose. Striking wise, we definitely rate Rose. I mean, footwork, jab, accomplishments alone on the feet in fights is Rose all the way. Wang is still trying to establish her presence to me as a power puncher. Like she's got it. She's got power, but again, she's not a proven knockout artist, right? Like can't come in here knocking Victoria Leonardo off and be sold like that. I know some of y'all thought that, but I was like, hey, if she run into somebody like Rose, she gonna get submitted. But Gabby Fernandez beat her to it. G Frame, what's up? He said, did you catch that Victoria Chikataro and Sarah Smajic fight? Not yet. I'm gonna watch it though when I get a chance. I saw Sarah won the fight though. Victoria, she's a tough girl, but she ran into her match. She kind of got humbled on that one. I like Victoria too. I think she's kind of an exciting fighter, but she ran into her match on the feet because that girl can hit too. Who'd she knock out from the UFC? What's her name? Oh man, who did she knock out? The girl that I think Melissa Gatto knocked out. I can't remember her name right now. Yeah. But yeah, I think that close I think Mora is stronger than Tracy, so I don't see Tracy being able to hold Wang down, and Wang is going to be beating her on the feet. I think Mora might be stronger, like brute strength wise and physical strength, but I think Tracy is smarter. I think she's a smarter wrestler than Mora, so that's where she could prevail. Like I think she knows how to control on top better. But yeah, the feet is going to be hard. Wang Cong got some good body shots. She's got good body shots. She's got a good, like I said, good right hand. So we'll see. We definitely gonna see how this thing play out. But yeah, I think that's like the biggest flyweight fight we got right now. Nothing higher right now. So I'm trying to see what they got going on, man. 2B says, so if Kong's striking isn't close to Rose's and her grappling isn't either, then I like Tracy's chances, but who knows? Right. Well, MMA math doesn't add up like that. And we know if her grappling isn't close and her striking is not better than Rose's, it could be better than Tracy's, right? Because even though hers ain't close to Rose's, it could still be better than Tracy's, and that's enough to win. Like, I'm just saying, right? Like, who's striking on the lower level is close to the Rose, right? But still enough to do damage. It could be. Because I definitely don't see this fight being like Tracy beating up on Jasmine on the feet. That's a different type of fight. This here is just something that's could be striker versus grappler type of situation. Tracy's chin is questionable. I saw Aaron catching Tracy on the feet. When Aaron caught Tracy, what was her reaction? I forgot. Like, I won't really say Tracy's chin is questionable because Rose is sneaky. Rose is a good, accurate puncher. She's a good, accurate puncher, but Aaron catching her, Like when she caught her, I can't remember. That's what I'm saying. I'm asking, like, was Aaron rocking her? Because hitting her one thing, I could just say she got bad defense, but catching her, like, was she getting rocked? Like I said, I can't remember. I can't remember her getting rocked like that. I just remember, Aaron taking her spirit and choking her out. Smiley said Tracy didn't move. Tracy didn't move when Aaron touched her. I saw Tracy piecing up Aaron. I don't know what y'all was watching. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like, I need to remember because that's what I remember, Smiley. That's what I remember is like, I remember the first round, Aaron getting hit, but Aaron walking through a lot of these shots. So, Tracy, I won't say she got intimidated, but it wasn't wasn't making Tracy confident. Okay. But I never saw like Tracy get buckled in there too. I remember it that way. I remember like Aaron hitting her. I remember Aaron like landing some shots back, but I remember like Tracy landing more in the first round. That's what I remember. Close. I'm saying if Aaron is landing on you, then I'm sure Wang will land on you even harder. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, that's what I'm asking because the first time you said catch, and I thought you meant she was hitting her, like rocking her. But yeah, Wang Cong, if she's moving too, because Aaron moves. Aaron's like all over the place too. Like Wayne can't really spend too many rounds waiting and plotting and trying to set the big punch up. And Nesson, what's up? He said Tracy boxed her head off. Let's not rewrite history now. Aaron won. Oh boy. VJ said y'all also was saying Rose was beating up Aaron on the feet, and she wasn't. Rose was beating up Aaron on the feet. Rose won the first 2 rounds. She outstruck Aaron in the first 2 rounds, right? And then Aaron won the last 3 in that fight, right? But those are 2 different fights. Now, the Cortez fight, like I said, I think from what I remember, I remember Tracy landed more in that round and seeming to have the more effective punches, but Aaron was in it for the long haul. That's what matters, right? Rose is beating Aaron on the feet for the first 2.5, a little of the third. Yeah, Aaron won. I thought so. That's what I said. Aaron won the first 2 rounds. Clostrom said Manon was beating Aaron on the feet. Oh, you know that. I'm just saying. I'm just playing. No, look, I like Aaron too, but 50-45. Manon was doing work. Like, yeah, Aaron landed, but she never won a round in that fight. We know that. We can't rewrite that history. Ain't no 29, 28, 49, 46 in that fight. That was pure 50-45. Frank Stallworth said you didn't watch Eileen Pereira in MVP. Yeah, I did. I told you I did. You asked me that earlier. I said I did watch it. We was on live. I was on live. You probably weren't here, but yeah, we was on live. Because I was the Alan Costa card was the same night. Yeah, we was on here live doing that, and I called some of that fight because it was on YouTube. Yeah, I was watching that fight. I don't think she looked impressive either. I thought Jade with Song gave her work, like I was saying earlier. Yeah. Yes, it was okay. Like, she didn't do a great deal. She still got to learn what to do as far as like controlling that, the controlling her range and so on. Smiling said if you're an elite striker, you should beat Aaron on the feet. She's a good grappler, but let's not pretend she's a good striker, or at least super technical, right? And we know who the elite striker is, right? I'm just saying. We know that elite striker is elite strikers are the top, Valentina, Natalia Manon Fiore, and Alexa Grasso, all proven to be the elite strikers in the division. I mean, are we not going to Are we not going to agree? Can we agree all those are the top elite strikers in the division? Aaron's a good fighter, though. That's the one thing I like about Aaron. Like, I like Aaron. Like, Aaron, she does like to fight, and she can mix it up. You know, that fight in you, that can win you a belt too. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like, Aaron has the ability to become a champion one day. You know, I can say that. I can say that because I don't know if it's gonna be against Valentina, you know, but it could. It could be one day though. Like, the more Aaron continues to fight and get better as a fighter, as long as she still has that ability to outfight girls, like, even if she can't outstrike somebody, she can outfight them, outlast them, and have that ability to break a girl. She could touch the belt. Like, Juliana Pena has done it 2 times. Come on now. You know, Juliana Pena has done it 2 times in the bantamweight division now. Aaron could get it at some point. Like, she could get the belt at one point. Again, I don't know right now where some of the girls at the top stand. With those girls in the top, Silva, Fiore, and so on, or, Valentina. But for sure, like, I could see it one day. Same thing, like, Silva could get it here. Fiore could get it as well. Like, those are some of the top level girls I think, or still believe, could get the belt. They could still get the title. They're here now. And when you see them fight, like Grasso, Fiore, Blanchfield, you see them get better. You see them get better in a fight, like, every time. Smiling said, yeah, her striking is effective, but elite. She's elite. 2B said, you think Aaron versus Grasso? Grasso's really up for grabs right now. Grasso is up for grabs. She really is. Like, it's either going to be Fiore or Blanchfield that get that fight. Okay, G. Frank said Manon is an elite striker, but before that fight, people were saying if Aaron can't get her down, she's going to sleep. The threat of Aaron's ground game brings that elite striker down to a good striker. I don't think so. I don't think the threat of it, because Joanna's an elite striker and she did knock Jessica Andrade out, but she pieced her up for 5 rounds. If their plan is not for power and just straight technique, and they just own a person every round, that's still an elite striker. Because, hey, we could say, yeah, again, like, Jessica offered nothing, so eventually she could have knocked her out. But if you can still own that person for 5 rounds, I mean, just round after round like that, and never really being a threat, and you're just fighting your fight, you still an elite striker. Aaron versus Jasmine. I don't know. Aaron versus Jasmine. I kind of want to see Jasmine versus Casey O'Neill more. Oh, yeah. Rose is in the top 5. Oh, she's in the top 5 because Macy moved down. That's all. It was the UFC's doing, you know what I mean? Like, Macy dropped. I'm not laughing at her, but I'm just saying, since Macy dropped, that's what elevated Rose to the top 5 spot. But that's kind of a crazy, top 5 right now. Jasmine better try to come get that. Or, yeah, like Jasmine versus what's her name? Casey. That needs to happen. BJ said, unfortunately, Aaron is short. She may not have a choice but to get hit sometimes. But the thing about Aaron is she's definitely going to hit you back. Yeah. And that's the thing. Aaron may be short, but her reach is longer than these girls. So she'll never be on the losing end because of her reach or because of her height, because she's she ain't like Tisha Torres. Like, she's a decent height for a flyweight. Her reach is longer than Manone's, right? Her reach is longer. She just got to know how to use it to get in. So I don't think, like her issue will ever be that, because she could develop a long jab like Pena. She got them hit. She can get the leg up there. She's got that long, high kick. So she's already got a lot working for her. She just has to really tone down on getting hit a lot. Erin needs better takedown entries. I think that could be a benefit. 2B says Silva versus Andrade, Silva versus Grasso are two examples of elite striking, in my opinion. Yeah. I mean, again, the threat of never being knocked out, or like the threat of being taken down by Grasso, I don't think that was an issue for Silva. It was just an elite, solid game plan where she fought and she was able to take it all the way there. Like, you ain't got to knock somebody out. To me, those are good fights. And that's why Silva deserves the title shot, BJ, because she beat 3 former champions. And that's how I'm going to end this show. That's how I'm going to end this show. 2B's meant to do that. He threw that out there. Elite performances against Andrade, Grasso, a competitive fight against Rose. That's 3 champions won. So there's your next title contender. Hate it or love it, she should be next. So that's what it is. That's going to be Valentina's next shot. Natalya needs takedowns, period, if she's fighting Valentina. Let's talk about the gaping hole defense in Silva's game and how Valentina is going to smoke. Oh, boy. Smiley said that performance against Grasso was more than enough, in my opinion. Yeah, it was. It was. I think it was on lock that night, because when Fiora lost, it was a revolving door. That's all it was. But, when Grasso didn't do the Rose fight, she took that fight, All right. It's fine if Stamina said it's fine if Silva gets smoked. Many did, many will. Send her in. Right. Doesn't matter at this point. See how Combo skimmed over Natalya's ground game. Did I? I skimmed over her ground game? Like, what needs to be talked about her ground game? We know that her style depends. He said send him a link. All right. I'm gonna give you 10 minutes. And that's it, BJ. Hold on. Did I have reason? Listen, Stamina. Did I have reason to skim over her ground game? Like, did you ask about it? Did I ever say her ground game was needed to win a fight? Or did I say that her ground game was going to be a threat to Valentina? Like, come on. Like, I'm trying to see what I said wrong. Like, did I ever say her ground game is going to be the threat to somebody like Valentina? Smiling said Natalya was known for her submissions before the UFC. Man, hold on. Give me a second. Don't turn this into no hour-long link here. Extra hour. Cause I got something I got it simmering now, so it's good now. But hold on. There's the link, BJ. That was BJ, right? Hold on. Okay. Man, what you got to say? Like, I'm trying to think. What did I say? Like, how did I look over that? Stamina said about to make a whole bunch of points nobody ever argued against in the first place. He said, oh boy. If you're going to do this, please make sure you're in the studio doing it. I don't have time for no glitchiness. Make sure at least you on a good mic. If you're going to say something wrong, at least make sure it's on a good mic so we can all, just go in on you at this point. It better be in the studio. I want to hear you loud and clear. What you got?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Oh yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, all right. Listen. This is all I want to say. I'm gonna keep it short and I'm gonna keep it sweet. You see how much time you spent and how much time people in the comments spent talking about holes in Aaron Blanchfield's game, but y'all so gung-ho for Natalia Silva to get this title shot. Are we not going to talk about the holes in Natalia Silva's game? Y'all have yet to assess, you Natalia Silva fans have yet to assess. Okay, you just said that there were rumors that fight, that her versus Valentina could be happening. Do y'all really think that what she has shown us in the UFC is enough to beat Valentina Shevchenko? Like, there has not been I have not seen a plan B, a B or C or nothing. Do y'all really think that her skill set, Valentina gonna take her down? What's gonna happen when Valentina takes Natalia Silva down?
Okay.
Let's say hypothetically that Natalia Silva is beating Valentina on points on the feet, since that's what y'all think her Achilles heel is. Y'all think that's her rabbit's foot. That's how she gonna beat Valentina. What happens when Valentina takes her down?
BJ, you my man. You know that. Look.
Yes, sir.
Look, make sure y'all subscribe to No Filter MMA, man, for real, because he keep me alive over here. He keep me alive sometimes. He keep me alive. But BJ, when did I ever say? Did you look at the context of what we were talking about here? We came to Aaron's leaky defense because we were talking about what happened in the Cortez fight, right? And then when we jump to Natalia, we talking about what she done because she's already done enough to be in that position.
I'm talking about in the grand scheme of it though. Look how y'all broke down Aaron. Look how much time y'all spent, no matter what it was about, who it was, talking about fighting against. Look at the time y'all spent. Look at the time y'all spent breaking down what Aaron does right and what Aaron does wrong. But I ain't never heard people. I'm talking about people mostly in the comments. I ain't never heard y'all break down what Natalia Silva does. Let's break down Natalia. Let's spend some time breaking down what Natalia Silva does and doesn't do right, because she ain't perfect.
I promise you, when the Valentina Natalia fight is scheduled, I'm gonna do that. But right now, what we talking about with Aaron, she's giving us more to work with when it comes to what to do and what not to do. And just because she does something wrong, that's not saying she's a bad fighter. She's just showing us on the feet what needs to be improved. Like,
and what has Natalia Silva showed us on the ground that needs to be improved in going into a fight with Valentina Shevchenko?
That's left to be questioned, because again, Aaron's done a little bit of everything, right? So you're gonna get that kind of like gauge, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna have two gauges here with Aaron.
That's exactly my point. That's exactly my point.
Right, but when it comes to Natalia, we've seen her get all the way to the top on the feet. So with that being said, she's done at least that one thing better than Aaron to get her in that position.
But what about the one thing that she hasn't done better than Aaron?
Because she hasn't had to use it. So what do you want her to do? Fight 20 fights until you see her taken down on the ground? Some people won't have to do that. Manon didn't necessarily have to do that.
We're not talking about 20 fights. We talking about a potential fight with Valentina Shevchenko. We're not talking about 20 more other fights. I'm talking about the fight. And the fight is Valentina Shevchenko. And you telling me y'all gung-ho for a fighter that ain't never showed no ground game going into a fight with Valentina Shevchenko?
But still, the question is...
Have we forgotten the Alexa Grasso trilogy?
But still, that we're not talking about that. We're talking about what she's done to get there. Like, you can't say she doesn't deserve it just because she had. No,
I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm saying. They're all there. They're both there. They're both there. It could be either one.
Natalia is still ahead of her. Let's be real.
I get what you're saying, Combo. This point I'm trying to make is not about who deserves it more. It's not about that. What it's about is the assessment of the skill sets. We've already had the who deserves it more conversation. This is the assessment of the skill sets. Y'all are turning a blind eye to this gaping hole, this gaping unanswered question about Natalia Silva.
I don't think anybody's like overlooked the fact that Valentina could take her down, because again, I picked Valentina all 3 fights because of the ground game. I knew eventually she would get her down. So to say Natalia is not going to get taken down, I mean, come on, like who is overlooking that? Who is ever overlooking that though? That's what I want to know. Like,
You may not be overlooking. Y'all may not be overlooking it, but you ain't talking about it.
We have talked about it.
Y'all you ain't spend as much time talking about Natalia Silva's lack of a certain aspect of her game, but as much as you talk about Aaron's lack of certain things in her game. And
because it's already been shown. Like I said, it's been shown. Like I have truth and facts to go off of. I'm not just going to keep assuming like what if. Like I've seen a fight with Aaron where she's been 50-45. I've seen her have success against Tracy, but still get hit up in one round. And I've seen her get boxed up against JJ Alder, but still come back. So I have certain things to gauge here, but I've seen Natalia own fights more off of her skills and what she's done better than Aaron on the feet. But I'm not leaving like that whole possibility of the greatest fighter in the flyweight division to not be able to take her down. Nobody's ever saying Valentina's not going to be able to take Natalia down. Nobody's ever saying that her ground game doesn't, need to be tested because it could be.
So it don't bother y'all. So it don't bother y'all that you can't. It doesn't bother y'all that you hadn't seen any kind of ground stuff, threats or whatever from Natalia. It doesn't bother y'all that y'all don't know how she gonna react when she gets taken down. That doesn't worry y'all. Like me as a Jillian Robertson fan, I'm worried about the exchanges on the feed because I know that that's somewhere that Jillian Robertson lacks at, and we've seen that's where she lacks at. You know what I'm saying? That's the point I'm trying to make. I'm worried about that because I'm a Jillian Robertson fan and I know what to expect from her. You know what I'm saying? And y'all so gung-ho for Natalia Silva, and you telling me y'all not worried about that? That doesn't concern y'all. That doesn't concern y'all going into a Valentina Shevchenko fight that this girl might get mauled up on the ground and she won't have it.
Let me ask you this though.
Let me say this. She has no chance on the ground against Valentina Shevchenko. And I'm going to put it like that. Her best chance is to beat Valentina on the feet. And we know that Valentina is going to take her down. And she has no chance on the ground against Valentina. Zero.
I've said, you know what? I said the same thing about Alexa Grasso.
And we saw that when Valentina took her down, she had no answer for Valentina Shevchenko.
Did she in the first fight, though?
She got that, and we got to be real though. We got to be honest. Alexa Grasso will take your back the moment you give her the opportunity. That wasn't something that Alexa Grasso went after. She didn't go after a takedown and get that submission. Valentina spun and she caught it. She anticipated it. That's a whole different thing. That wasn't the step 1, 2, 3, 4 to get that submission on Valentina. She snatched Valentina up like a child that stole something. You know what I'm saying?
For it though. She did train
for it. She trained for it, but she didn't take her down and do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about and we saw that when Valentina initiated the takedowns against Alexa Grasso, she dominated Grasso in that area. She dominated her in that area. So my question is, what does Natalia Silva, what's her answer when Valentina takes her down over? Because if you a threat on the feet, like if you a real threat on the feet, like y'all are hyping up Natalia Silva to be, Valentina ain't gonna play that game with her. Valentina ain't gonna do that. We know this, y'all. We know that. If you a big puncher, Valentina gonna take you down. She gonna piece you up and take you down, just like she did Andrade. And when she takes Natalia Silva down, she's going to mop Natalia Silva.
All right, I'm gonna say this though, okay? Because I've said this back in the past. Like I'm gonna always stick to this. I know y'all probably act like you ain't heard this before, but my thing is like, what fight is truly gonna prepare you for Valentina in the flyweight division? I used to always ask this question: like, does it really matter who she takes down? It's preparing for the best fighter in the world, really? Like, you just have to go in there and expose her weaknesses. That's what I said before. You ain't never going to match Valentina in the area. So to say that her ground game needs to be up to par or it needs to be tested like that, it's never going to be on the level of Valentina. So you have to make sure you just expose Valentina's weaknesses, and your
So why
takedown defense
always?
has to be on point.
So okay, with that statement being made, then why always talk about Aaron striking versus Valentina then?
Because of her defense, like you still got to have defense. Like defense is one of the biggest keys to beating Valentina. Like even like Grasso, her best defense was her guard, but it was also her offense.
So
Why
does Aaron have to have a good? Just answer this. Why does Aaron's defense have to be good going into a fight with Valentina? Just answer that for me. I'm going somewhere.
Jab.
Okay. So the jab, she has to. So that's going to be the biggest knock on Aaron, is making sure that her defense is good going into a fight with Valentina Shevchenko. Why are we not giving that same treatment to Natalia Silva? The jab is a weapon that Valentina uses to pick people apart and beat people. So are the takedowns. The takedowns are also a weapon that Valentina uses to beat people. So why is that not coming into question when we're talking about Natalia Silva versus Valentina Shevchenko? Y'all can sit there and talk about how Aaron needs to work on this, that, and this on the feet versus Valentina, but nobody's saying, oh, well, Natalia Silva need to be drilling them need to be drilling grappling drills and drilling this and drilling that, drilling takedown. Why ain't we talking about that? When y'all talk about Natalia Silva versus Valentina, the only thing that y'all talk about is her striking. Nobody is bringing up how she could get dominated on the ground in this fight. But everybody wants to say, oh yeah, Erin Blanchfield, it can get dicey with Erin Blanchfield if she takes Valentina down. But if she stays on the feet with Valentina, it's a bad idea for Erin Blanchfield. But nobody's bringing up the bad idea of Natalia Silva being taken down by Valentina.
I think, BJ, you reading into it a little bit too much.
No, I'm not reading into it too much. No,
I think you are. Like, that's why I'm just letting you say. I'm letting you say your hold up. I'll let you talk. I'll let you talk. I'll let you say your piece. But what's not even being said is what's not. It's not like it's being ignored. All right, like. Nobody's ever saying like Natalia wouldn't get taken down by Valentina. Nobody's ever said that. I mean, I got the videos, so I stand on that. I can say that without stuttering, because I know I got the stuff up here. But anyways, when you look at the styles here, Aaron striking, and somebody said in the chat, that's why I was thinking earlier, I think it was Smiling, said every fight starts out on the feet. And it all comes down to their approach on how they execute a stand-up game here, right? So for Aaron, if Aaron decides to strike with Valentina in a way that she's running straight in, it could be a bad night for her that way. But if Natalia chooses to make more of an awkward point fighting approach, she still has more of that style to depend on. Not saying she won't get taken down, but she's going to be thinking more on the feet. She's going to make Valentina guess more, whereas Aaron, she'll come forward and land shots maybe, but Valentina's fought so many girls like that in the past that she'll welcome that fight. That's all that's being said, is like every fight starts on the feet, and it all depends on how you start in the fight. Like Grasso, she lured Valentina into a boxing match, and she was winning exchanges. So Valentina had to go to the ground. That's where she had success. Same thing can be said with Silva. She could go in there, use her timing and awkwardness on the feet, but Valentina can go to the bank, because everybody knows Valentina's the greatest fighter in WMMA today. So to say her ground game wouldn't be a problem, it doesn't even have to be spoken. We're just talking about Natalia Silva's chances versus Aaron's.
But it's like y'all give Aaron less of a chance to beat Valentina than you do a fighter that has shown to kind of beat, that has shown lesser tools.
I think you're missing the point again. I'm not
missing combo. I'm telling you, I'm not. Point. Okay.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen, when somebody on the feet has proven themselves time and time again at this,
but not on the ground.
Listen, before you keep cutting it with this ground stuff, listen to what I'm saying. When somebody has proven themselves time and time again on the feet, and they know timing and they know how to keep range, that person may have more success than somebody who comes in and scraps and gets hit more. That's all I'm saying. But again, this being MMA, Valentina could shut it down quickly with a takedown. So we know that that's there, but we know if this fight stays on the feet, it'll be different for both fighters. Natalia may be better than Aaron's chances because, again, we've seen Aaron in there with Manon, who's not a better striker than Valentina, is not as good a striker as Valentina, and she was able to win 50-45 against Aaron.
How does Natalia Silva match up with Valentina if she's getting taken down? That's my question. Let's talk chat, since y'all are so invested in this conversation. What happens when Valentina, because she will take Natalia Silva down. She takes everybody she fights to the ground. She takes everybody down. She will take Natalia Silva down. How does Natalia Silva fare in a ground fight with Valentina Shevchenko? Don't all speak at once.
Valentina will win the fight.
Okay.
Win the fight. She takes it down.
Bingo. Okay, so now let me bring this thing home. Why is that not being discussed amongst you Natalia Silva fans when it comes to fighting Valentina Shevchenko? The only thing that y'all say when y'all are talking about Natalia Silva fighting Valentina Shevchenko is how good her striking is. That is the only point that y'all make when y'all are talking about Silva fighting Valentina. I know it's real easy for y'all in the comments to say, oh, BJ crazy, this and that. BJ say this and that. I don't care what you say. I'm making a point here. You literally just said that she would lose a ground fight to Valentina, but y'all are still giving her these astronomical chances of beating Valentina. That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't make sense.
I didn't never hear anybody say she had astronomical chances. Like, who says that?
People are picking Natalia Silva to beat Valentina Shevchenko.
I mean, if they do, that's their pick, because I mean, you and many other people pick Grasso. So it's like, how are we trying to say she doesn't have a chance? Because you never really like studied Grasso's come up as you weren't as hard as, let me put it, you weren't as hard as I was on Grasso's come up, because
not at strawweight, no, not at strawweight, but her come up at flyweight, it was a different story.
No, flyweight. I'm talking about flyweight. I'm talking about her come up at flyweight.
You know, she was in my triple threat.
No, you ain't listening to what I'm saying. I'm saying that I was harder on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was harder on it, but when I went back and looked, I said she fought her way up there, you know, and she did the same thing as Natalia Silva. To me, she fought her way up there with her skill sets. But the thing is, Natalia, she fought her way up there with what she had in her skill set. So it's like, why do we need to see this other element at this point, you know?
But y'all say we need to see other elements out of Erin Blanchfield. In the same breath,
she never exceeded in just one thing.
She did. She was choking people out left and right, bro.
But what was happening before that?
But I'm saying, saying that
you listen? It's going over your head, man. What I'm saying, every fight is starting on the feet. So I'm talking about your execution on not getting hit and taking your opponent's punches away. Like Erin, before she gets them submissions, she's still getting hit. Like, but Natalia's not getting hit like that. Natalia's using her speed and her gift. I know that's one thing we see, but she's exceeded with it. And Erin is becoming more of like a type of fighter that has to craft her game and find her way. They're two different fighters. That's why.
Exactly.
Listen, hold on. One fighter has to fight harder sometimes than the other. That's all I'm saying. One might have a special gift, but the other one, they're going to have to work harder. Erin's having to work harder for it. That's all I'm saying.
But you're holding Erin's feet to the fire for far as
she's got to work harder. Listen to what I'm saying. She's got leaky defense, man. Like, she's got to work harder because she ain't gifted on the feet like that.
And Natalia's not gifted on the ground like that. That's the point I'm trying to make.
DJ, look, I gotta go, man.
Listen, hold on. One last point.
You ain't hearing me. Either you ain't listening or you ain't hearing me.
I'm being loud and clear. Listen, one point. You holding Erin's feet to the fire as far as her grappling, but you're not holding Natalia's feet to the fire it's for Erin. You're holding Erin's feet to the fire, comparing her to to a striker, but you're not holding Natalia's feet to the fire for a lack of showing of a ground game. You have to have every tool to fight Valentina Shevchenko. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to have every single tool to fight Valentina. And y'all are criticizing Aaron, taking it, dissecting Aaron, holding her feet, comparing her to strikers when we know she's not a striker. Y'all comparing Aaron's striking to Natalia's striking, but you're not comparing Natalia's ground game to Aaron's ground game.
Again, I can say Valentina can beat Natalia because she hasn't shown the ground game, but I can speak confidently on what I've seen. All right. Like, I can speak confidently on what I have seen. And that's the good from Aaron and the bad that needs to be questioned.
Okay.
So if somebody asks me, like, how good is Aaron on the ground? I'm like, I like a ground game. Like, how good is she on the feet? Oh, yeah, you know, she gets hit a lot, but she's tough. She'll dish it out. She'll trade with you. But somebody asked me about Natalia, I'm gonna say I haven't seen a ground game like that tested. But you know, I know she's got a style on the feet that a lot of girls haven't seen. You know, I just can't say, oh, her ground games would be horrible. You know, like, I have more to go off of with Aaron, whether you like what I say about her or not. And I like, come on now, I've been following Aaron for years now. So I'm not trying to bash Aaron. I'm just putting out there what I've seen that could cost her a fight.
Yeah.
And what could win her a fight.
I just feel like when you're talking about fighters that are getting ready and can possibly be fighting Valentina Shevchenko, you have to assess them all on a level playing field. Nobody gets preferential treatment when you're talking about going into a fight with Valentina Shevchenko. Every single fighter that could possibly be fighting Valentina needs to be assessed the same way. It's not a question of what skills you have. The question is, do you have enough to beat Valentina? Like, those are the questions that need to be asked when any fighter is fighting Valentina. It's not about what they do. It's about whatever they do, is it enough to beat Valentina Shevchenko?
But you know what I'm saying? That's always been the standard. Like, we can have a number one contender, but there's Valentina. Like, you can be number one. That's why I said, like, you can't really always say, even with this argument, I know we shut this argument out, but that's why we can't ever say, oh, so and so deserves it over this person, but this person, you know, they show a little bit more improvement, but we're basing it off Valentina next, you know. So whoever does get that win streak, we're just saying that that's the next person, you know, but still the standard is the same. Like, Valentina's a different beast, you know. Even like whenever she was fighting Lauren Murphy, the Chikagans, but now we have like a different group of fighters here. The same standard still goes, but Natalia's showing something different that Lauren and
she ain't showing nothing different. She ain't showing nothing different than what Grasso did on her way up.
Okay.
She ain't
doing nothing. You ain't gonna hear me on that. All right, I'm gonna let you go on that then. All right.
I hear you.
You cut me off on that when you don't want to hear what I gotta say. So I ain't gonna say it.
Is Natalia's run better than Grasso?
Oh, okay, listen to me. Look, I'm gonna ask the chat. Does Natalia show something different than the old era?
No, not the old era. No,
not
the old era.
Before I even talk, you didn't hear what I said. See, that's what I said. See,
go ahead.
I didn't know, but we gonna stand up. BJ said Natalia still is on the same level as Chikagan and Lauren Murphy era.
That's not what I said.
Well, yeah, it was, because you cut me off when I said it. You said nope, she's not.
No, I said that Natalia Silva ain't done nothing more impressive than what Grasso did on her way up to the belt.
Why? But see, you jumped in before I could even say it, and you said it when I said it, so you didn't let me finish. So what's wrong with that?
Hey, come on. You know what I think that you know what I think needs to happen. I think there needs to be, there's no fight this weekend, Combo. You made that point that we don't have a fight card, let alone a WMMA fight in the UFC. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think in the placeholder of a fight card, I think there needs to be an episode of Real Naked Smoke. You know,
I'm down.
He said I'm down. Two B's. What's up, man? Like, what you think, man? This Saturday, Real Naked Smoke, man. Because this right here, man, we can go all night about this. We can go all night. We see Combo, man. Combo B. He be trying to trick me up with that monotone voice, man. Like, you can't trick me up, dog.
You heard me though, man. Like I said, Natalia may not be this big grappler, but she poses some threats that the girls in the past didn't do. So we still got to give her that, man. Like we got to give her that.
We got to give her that. But when it comes to anybody in the top 5, the standard on how we critique them has to be the same. It has to be that we can't tear Erin's lack of defense and her striking and her bullheadedness. We can't spend all this time tearing that down and assessing that without giving Natalia Silva the same treatment. And that's my only point tonight. My only point is Erin is getting tore to shreds about what it is that she doesn't do right, and Natalia Silva is not getting that same kind of energy. That's the only thing I'm saying. And to me, she has more reason to get that energy, because there's a whole part of her game that I don't care how much y'all want Natalia Silva to fight, how much y'all like Natalia Silva. That's irrelevant. The facts of the matter is we have unanswered questions about that part of the game. And that part of the game is a very realistic outcome of where this fight can take place with Valentina Shevchenko. That's all I'm saying. And if y'all think that sounds crazy, then we not on the same page. If that don't make sense to y'all, then we not on the same page. You know what I'm saying? Because I just don't get how that doesn't make sense.
Look, every fighter,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make sense that we spend a lot of time tearing up Erin, but we ain't talking about, well, we need to. I hope Natalia Silva's working on this because we know Valentina's gonna take it down. I ain't heard nobody say that. Nobody. I ain't seen it in the comments. I ain't heard nobody say that.
Hold up.
But y'all are okay because y'all like Natalia Silva. Y'all want Natalia Silva to win.
Really,
y'all like her. So
tearing her down.
Y'all just skim right over that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, wait a minute. Hold on.
Hey, is constructive criticism really tearing a fighter down though?
What do you mean? No, I'm saying like breaking them down, like not tearing them down. Not tearing them down in the sense of trying to make them look bad. Like we're dissecting, like y'all spend a lot of time dissecting Erin and what she doesn't do correctly. You know what I'm saying? But at least, what do we do see from Erin? We see striking from Erin. We see great. Right.
But look, every fight. Look, this is the point you're missing though. Look, every fighter in the top 5 is being gauged the same way, but certain fighters are going to show you certain things that need to be worked on because they tend to have like Erin here has issues with defense, right? Moving her head. So she's being measured the same way as Natalia. But if somebody shows you some things to work with, it don't necessarily mean that, oh, this person's a bad fighter. You know what I mean? Like one's going to have to work on something a little bit more than the other if the other's dependent on one more thing, you know, or one thing.
And see, the thing, we have a lot of footage on Erin too. Like you were saying, like we've seen a lot of stuff on Erin. We've seen a lot of different situations.
Right.
But even though, so we have answers and we have the verdict on what Erin needs to work on.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point, is like what I've seen based off of her against solid, good, elite strikers on the lower half. It's like they have to work, you know.
Right.
Erin's shown that she struggled in these type of fights. So if you jump up to this level of a Valentina, it's like it's gonna be worse. It's gonna be worse, and I don't want to see that for, you know.
So the questions of fight.
And Natalia has more of an IQ of a stand-up fighter. Her approach is gonna be a little bit different than Erin. Erin's gonna be in there a bit more scrappy, and it could wind up being like the second fight with Nunes, you know, Nunes and Pena, like that type of situation.
And the thing is, we have those verdicts. We have those verdicts on Erin. We don't have a verdict on what Natalia Silva does on the ground. That's my only point, is we don't have that verdict. The reason we have this verdict, on Erin is because we've seen Erin lose striking exchanges with people. You know what I'm saying? We've seen her, and the reason we saw that is because she chose to engage in that with people. You know what I'm saying? She chose to engage in striking with her opponents. the lack of an answer for Natalia Silva is what I'm saying. The lack of being able to make an assessment of her ground game. Y'all keep saying in the comments, oh, she took down so-and-so, or she stopped so-and-so from taking her down. Okay, when she took these people down, what did she do? What did she do? What did we see? We saw nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. We saw, yes, she may have Manon has taken people down. And what did we see Manon do when she took people down? Nothing. Okay? So that's the point I'm trying to make. We don't have a verdict on what Natalia can do on the ground. We do not have that. As much as y'all want to stand on that hill and say she can do this and that, we don't know.
Everybody told you that. Like, anybody could tell you that, but our point and my point is that doesn't mean like Natalia doesn't have a chance in the fight with Shevchenko just because you haven't seen the ground game, you know?
No, and I'm not saying she don't have a chance, but I'm just saying it's not being brought into question. Like that should be
like, who's not bringing it into question? Because we talk about it all the time. Like,
it.
Natalia,
I haven't heard you talk about it.
I've talked about it with Manon. I've talked about it with Natalia. Like, how long do you want me to spend on that? Like, to just
as much time as you spend talking about Aaron.
That's different. I got more to go off with Aaron. Same thing. Like, I know because I know what you want to do here. You really doing this because Casey O'Neill.
No, I ain't got nothing to do with Casey O'Neill.
Okay.
Ain't got nothing to do with O'Neill.
Okay.
Nope. We talking about girls who can
you harder on Natalia than any other fighter that made it to the top. So it's like, if a fighter can make it to the top like that, like, what do you have against that fighter having a chance though, like against Valentina?
But look at the fighters look at the formal title challengers that have fought Valentina, and look at what we saw from them on their lead up to the belt. Look at a lot of people were questioning Alexa Grasso's ground game. You know what I'm saying? But us Alexa Grasso fans felt a little bit better about her ground game when she went out there and submitted JoJo. That's what, you know what I'm saying? So we had that.
I really wouldn't say that. Like, that to me, even though it happened, that wasn't like a good gauge. Like, submit JoJo. Come on now.
But at least we had that.
I mean, you might as well say, okay, we might as well take somebody Natalia submitted that wasn't in the UFC, because we all know JoJo didn't have no ground game like that.
But Alexa Grasso got the submission. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. She worked the ground and got the submission.
But even like that, then that means somebody like Natalia, who, let's say, look, she does have a jiu-jitsu background, does have the chance to do something crazy on the ground like that against Valentina. You never know.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. We don't know. We don't know. That's the only point.
Right. But we do know that Aaron's striking defense has some big holes that could cost her a chance unless she improves. That's all that's being said. Like, I have a lot more to go on. That's the thing. That's the argument. I got more to go on what Aaron needs to do in her situation, because any approach she takes, you know, Valentina's going to be prepared for it. Same thing with Natalia, but Natalia, again, starting off on the feet and maybe trying to keep it on the feet could be trouble for Valentina if she can't take her down.
See, I thought we learned something from the Tatiana Suarez Zhang Weili fight. I really thought that. See, I'm the type of person to where it's like I look at things the same. I use former examples of things to prove things that I'm trying to prove now. You know what I'm saying? We had all sorts of we thought that, and I picked Tatiana. We thought
I did too. But that's different. Hold on. It's a different fight. Hold on. I got to check something real quick. Chat talking to you, so here, go ahead.
Okay, we thought. Listen, Smile. Don't listen. You know what I'm saying? It is what y'all are, because y'all are all blinded by Natalia Silva. That's why this argument makes no sense to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Did we so soon forget that we skimmed over Tatiana Suarez's stand-up game? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, did we forget that we skimmed over Suarez's stand-up game? And look at how that turned out. Another thing about Suarez versus Weili. We also skimmed over the fact that Suarez never had a 5-round fight. That came back to bite us in the ass. You know what I'm saying? So you would think, you guys as being fans, and us as being everybody, all of us as being fans, that we would have those same questions. Listen, Tatiana Suarez looked untouchable on her lead up to the fight. She looked untouchable in her lead up to her fight with Zhang Weili. and we rode that train right into that title shot, and we right into that title fight. Ended up looking crazy. So y'all telling me y'all gonna do the same thing with Natalia Silva? Y'all not gonna question how good her chances are if this fight goes to the ground with Valentina? We ain't talking about Weili. We talking about Valentina.
So, let me ask you this though: just because you have seen more from Erin, does that make her chances better than Natalia's though?
I feel like
going to a person do more. That's what I'm saying. Just because you've seen a person do more,
that makes my confidence in Erin. That makes my confidence in Erin go up, because I'm not left asking as big of a question about Erin going into a Valentina fight as I am about Natalia Silva. I have a huge question over how Natalia Silva is really going to beat Valentina Shevchenko, because there's a big unanswered question. This is not rocket science, y'all. This is not rocket science. It's so easy. Like I said, it's so easy, you know what I'm saying, for people to say, oh, BJ, you're not listening. Or BJ, it's real easy for y'all to say that. And I get it. Like, it doesn't bother me at all that it's that easy for y'all to say that. Continue to say what you're going to say, because it don't matter to me. I'm going to say what I got to say. So y'all should know that by now anyways. But I would have more confidence in Erin, because I've seen Erin here and I've seen Erin here. I've seen Erin do A. I've seen Erin do B. I have not seen Natalia Silva do B. And nobody in this comment section can confidently say that they have seen Natalia Silva do B in the UFC. That's it. You have not seen her do B.
That's why I just asked that, because look, the point is, okay, and I'm no way tearing Erin down here, but I'm just comparing it to another fighter, because I've seen Lauren Murphy do both. Okay. And just because you do both don't mean you're great at it, or you're going to be guaranteed to win, or even, to me, be confident to win.
Right.
But we're just saying with Natalia, she exceeds high in A, but nobody's saying that because you haven't seen her, we don't put her B in question. That's my point, is like, I've seen Erin do this and that, but that doesn't necessarily give me the confidence that she beats the Bullet, because the Bullet's something different. And to me, to beat the Bullet, you got to be different.
So is Erin's superpower better than Natalia's? Is Natalia's superpower better than Erin's superpower? Is Natalia's striking superpower better than Erin Blanchfield's grappling and submission superpower?
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah. Yeah. If I break it down, I don't even know if you're going to understand it at this point, BJ.
No,
we're going on here, but like, you ain't getting what I'm saying still.
No. I'm just shocked by your answer. It's not that I'm not getting what you're saying.
I could use a boxing analogy, but you wouldn't get it either, because I know you don't follow certain boxers. But my thing is, when I'm looking at a fighter with like superior reflexes and just awkward style, they can get far with it. I'm not saying it's the best thing to do, because once things get deep, you could lose. But having that superior footwork and style that nobody's ever seen before, because let's be honest, like, Valentina has seen fighters like Erin before, but she hasn't seen fighters like Silva before, right? And that's where Silva could exceed and actually maybe pull something off against Valentina, right? But again, the thing that might get Erin through a fight is the fact that she's a hard worker and she's tough and she's a scrappy fighter, and she still has like these different areas to go to. But the thing about Natalia, again, like I said, she has exceeded at one thing, and it's pushed her all the way to the top without losing very many rounds, you know? So that's it. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying Erin don't have a killer instinct and she don't go for the kill, but it's just the fact that this person here, who has a good gift and knows how to use it, has exceeded, and she has a high chance. That's what I'm saying. But again, it could all falter if it goes to where she's not strong at.
Listen, okay, all right, Combo, I'm gonna let you rest this argument, because we're gonna save it for rear naked smoke. But I'm just gonna say this, okay? I'm gonna leave it at this.
All right.
The same way I laughed at y'all when Juliana Pena went in there and whooped Amanda Nunes.
Oh boy, that's different. That is different.
No, it's not. No, it's not. The
Actually,
same.
You know what? Look, listen, that could be something like a situation like we could say Aaron could do. Like if she's able to do something different, be tough, like she could break somebody down like that. But again,
I ain't talking about Aaron. I'm talking about Valentina whooping Natalia Silva. Listen, the same way I laughed at y'all. The same way I laughed at y'all
you
when
didn't
the
get
man.
what I was saying. You didn't get what I was saying. But go ahead. What you saying, man?
No, you thought I was talking about Aaron. I'm not talking about Aaron.
You were talking about Pena Nunes.
But I'm talking about as I was using that as an example I wasn't using it as an example to validate the Aaron point. I was using it as an example to validate the Val versus Natalia Silva point. Like the same way that she whooped Amanda Nunes, in the same way that same way I laughed at y'all when Grasso whooped Valentina, it's gonna be the same way I laugh when Valentina goes in here and smokes Natalia Silva. It's a smoking waiting to happen. It's a smoking waiting to happen. I'm just telling y'all. I'm just trying to make it. I'm trying to soften the blow for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because the confidence.
I still think like you. Well, I don't know if you're talking to the chat or me. Like, I think you're missing the point of big time. Like, I don't think anybody's saying like Valentina is gonna go in there and get beat down. Like, I'm missing that. Like, I'm missing that real big time. Like, I don't think anybody ever said Natalia was gonna go in there and like.
You have to be thinking, not you, but the comments. Y'all have to be thinking. If y'all are ignoring what I'm saying about Natalia Silva and saying that I sound crazy, you have to be thinking that she's going to beat Valentina. There's no way you thinking that Valentina's going to lose the fight if you're ignoring this whole part of Natalia Silva's game that we haven't seen. You have to be thinking. It doesn't make sense for you to be thinking, oh, Natalia Silva's going to get whooped, but ignoring this whole part of her game. They have to be thinking that she's going to win the fight, in order to ignore this whole gaping part of a game that we haven't even seen from the girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be thinking she's gonna win.
Oh man.
That's the only reason why these people in the comments ain't acknowledging the fact that this girl ain't got. I'm gonna go on record and say it. She ain't got no ground game. I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. I don't believe it. I don't believe she got a ground game. And I believe you have to have a ground game to go in there and fight Valentina Shevchenko and beat her. You have to have something. And I have not. She may have it, but I ain't seen it. So until I see it, listen, y'all drug me through the mud about Casey O'Neill and her striking. Y'all drug me through the mud. You know what I'm saying? And now
I'm still dragging on that. I'm gonna stop you right there because number one, again, she falls in that category where she's got work to do. You can't even compare them to her and Natalia. Like, I'm gonna be real on this. You're gonna hear this. Look, Natalia exceeds in anything Casey's doing, like in their comparison. That's why she's where she is. But Casey, she's got work to do. She ain't even on Aaron's level. That's real. That is real. She's just gotten her hands right. Like she ain't even in the conversation. Let's put it that way. She got her own work to do.
I wasn't putting her in the conversation. I was just using her as an example of the way that y'all drug me through the mud. We need to see more from Casey O'Neill. Okay, well, she's showing us more. But I'm saying we need to see more from Natalia Silva. And then y'all just like, oh, I guess I didn't hear him say that. Oh, well, BJ, you know, but it's when you say you need to see more from Casey O'Neill, I'm supposed to oblige to that. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm sitting here saying, oh, we still need to see more from Natalia Silva.
Two different fighters, though. Who's at the top, though?
Don't matter about two different fighters. It doesn't matter. It's the fact that we still haven't seen something. It don't matter if it was.
But the thing is, like, I put it this way. Look, eventually a fighter's going to have to evolve. We know that. Like, that's a given. But this fighter here, Natalia, she's done her thing to get there. And of course, everybody's always going to ask that question. Same thing with Jillian. I used to always say, where's her hands at? You know?
Yeah.
It's the reverse. Like, you love the specialist. You know what it is. So
yeah,
just because it's a striker, now you're thinking differently. But I'm just listening to you because you talk differently when it comes to Jillian back in the day.
No, I talked about I just did a live.
You used to get mad at me when I said Jillian needed to do more. Like, I remember when I used to say, look, It's the reverse. See, look, when Jillian was straight about her ground, and I would try to say her hands need to be better. What was your answer? Oh, she ain't got to be a great boxer. She ain't got to be a great striker. Oh, they ain't got to do this. They ain't got to do that. I'm like, but for Natalia, you got to see a ground game all of a sudden, huh? I'm just saying, like, you switching.
But listen, when you somebody like
now because of the style.
No, I'm not twisting it around. The point I made with G-Rob is that she don't have to be this excellent striker. She don't have to be an excellent striker. She just needs to do enough to set up what it is she's trying to do. My point with Natalia Silva is we know she's going to get taken down. What is her answer?
We'll see. We'll see come fight night.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's a great answer. Like, that's the answer I was looking for. We gotta see. And the reason we gotta see is because we ain't seen. Like, that's my whole point.
The answer you give Aaron too is like, what's Aaron gonna do on fight night? We gonna see. Like, if she ever get her title shot, we gonna see. Like, we can say Aaron gonna take it to the ground, but we'll see. We'll Valentina. You doubt it, but we'll see. So the same thing can be said with any fighter when you fighting Valentina. It's like, nobody's saying like Valentina gonna go in there. I mean, Natalia gonna go in there and smoke Valentina. I never heard that.
Well, the way that everybody turning a blind eye to turning the blind eye to the answer to this ground game, like that.
I'll say this before we go. I think it's all coming down to that constructive criticism of Aaron. And it's gonna hurt. Like I said, look, I'm a fan of Aaron, but I'm gonna be real. Like, Aaron's got work to do on certain things. That's all I'm saying. Like, I think you don't like the fact that she's getting constructively criticized.
No,
it's gotta be done, man, because we got more to go on. That's all it is. Like, we got more.
I don't care that Aaron gets criticized. I'm okay with Aaron getting criticized. I have acknowledged the fact that Erin Blanchfield has some things that she has to work on. I have. But what I'm saying, what frustrates me is the lack of constructive criticism for Natalia Silva. You can criticize Erin all day. You know what I'm saying? Every fighter has things. Erin got a lot of things that she needs to work on. A lot of these fighters in this division got a lot of things they got to work on before they think about fighting Valentina. But it's a lack of constructive criticism for Natalia Silva that is frustrating for me. Everybody's just skimming over. Everybody's so mesmerized by Natalia flitting around like a fairy in the octagon. You know what I'm saying? That y'all are so mesmerized by that we're not talking about. Well, guys, hold on, guys. Yes, what she does on the feet is great, but what about what's going to happen when the fight goes to the ground? We're talking about Valentina. Natalia's not going into a fight with Katlyn Chookagian, y'all. She's not fighting Chookagian. Where there's not really a threat of a takedown. When y'all are. This is not a fight where she doesn't have to worry about a takedown. This is not a fight where she can be 100% confident that the fight's going to stay on the feet. We're talking about Valentina Shevchenko. She's going to get taken down. And my thing is, what's going to happen? And why aren't y'all talking about what's going to happen when that happens? That's it. That's it. It's the lack of constructive criticism. We talk about Manon Fior. We talk about Alexa Grasso. We talk about Erin Blanchfield, Rose, Tracy, Casey, Jasmine. We talk about everything that everybody in this division does wrong and what they need to work on, except for Natalia Silva.
I know you be critiquing Manon all day, so I know that's
right. Exactly. So comment section. Since y'all thumbs and y'all fingers are running wild right now. When have y'all criticized anything about Natalia Silva? I'll wait. I'm looking at the comments right now. So tell me what y'all have criticized about Natalia Silva versus what y'all have criticized about the other fighters that I just named. I don't see nothing. Y'all can type everything else except that. That's my only point. That's my only point. Let's talk about some cons with Natalia Silva instead of everybody just constantly pointing out the pros for Natalia. Oh, Natalia Silva striking is this. Oh, her timing is this. Oh, her kicks are this. Oh, her jab is this.
You know what? You missed my take. You missed several of my takes then about critiquing. I like to say critiquing Natalia Silva. Like,
I must have.
You have, and you were on the show too. because Two Beats and Easy was on, and I was breaking down some pretty good points on what I seen about her and Grasso fight. So I'm gonna just leave it at that.
I kind of remember some things. I kind of remember like her lack of wanting to engage this
And
and
you know
that.
what I did? I waited before I just made up something. I had to see something again first. So when I saw something, I did, just like with Aaron. So that's all I'm saying is I got to have something to go off of. Just like when Manon lost to Valentina, I did a video on it. So it's like same thing with Natalia. If Natalia lose, I'll do a video. But now I even had something to go off of Grass. So I told people what it was that she needed to work on.
That's a Stamina. You still don't have a point. Okay, Stamina. Well, next time, listen, Stamina, since I don't have a point, then you jump on Real Naked Smoke this weekend, and then we can find out if I have a point. But say, dude, I mean, how can you, I don't, that's crazy to say I don't have a point. Like, that's wild to say I don't have a point. You know, it's the only reason I quote unquote don't have a point is because I'm talking about y'all's favorite fighter. That's the only reason. If I was talking about Jasmine Jasdavizius or Manon Fior or Wayne Cong, you know what I'm saying, or Miranda Maverick, oh, y'all would be just so super engaging in the comments. But I'm talking about Natalia Silva and BJ, you don't have a point. BJ, you don't have a point. You don't know what you're talking about.
Damn,
like, come on.
He trying to draw Stamina out.
I'm just being now I don't have a point because it's about Natalia Silva. But when I was online talking about Macy Barber getting knocked out by Alexa Grasso, oh, Macy Barber was overrated. Macy Barber this, Macy Barber that. But now that I'm talking about Natalia Silva, I don't have a point. Y'all are so funny, man. Y'all so funny. Y'all so funny. I'm gonna tell you this. Y'all root for who y'all want to root for, and I get it. Y'all gonna root for who you want to root for. Y'all gonna make whoever y'all want to make look good. Y'all gonna make them look good, and I respect y'all for that because I stand on my high horse when it comes to my fighters too. So y'all stand on y'all high horse. Don't get off y'all high horse. I get it, but at some point, like y'all like y'all always tell me, y'all can't always tell me how to do stuff. Y'all always say, "Well, BJ, take the fan out of it. Take the fan out of it." How about y'all do the same thing and take the fan out of it? And let's assess Natalia Silva for what she really is and how she about to get smoked and outclassed by Valentina Shevchenko. And that's it. That's all I got to say till Saturday, cuz. Peace out.
Look at him. He going, y'all. 2B said, can y'all see my comments? Yeah. I can see him. I can see a lot of them. We just been going in here, but I want to go back up because hold on. Oh, yeah. See, Two Beats mentioned the Teresa Blader fight, Viviane Araújo, Jasmine, the Rose fight, as far as ground game being tested. I might have to go back and watch those fights just so I'm going to come with some fuel on Saturday. He says hard to criticize someone who hasn't been exposed in an area. I mean, yeah, like that's all that's being said is like, I can't make up something if I haven't seen anything, like I can't just say, oh man, that person is not good on the ground if we haven't really seen it. Like it might be a little rusty, but we got certain things to critique Aaron with, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like that's how fighters get better. Like styles make fights, and somebody might do a little bit more of different things to give us room to critique. Natalia, she rides this thing to the top based off her striking, but it could be a downfall in that fight, or it could not be. We'll see. BJ said we compare to Teresa Blader's ground game to Valentina's. I mean, you said you wanted to see the ground game tested, right? You said she never been on the ground, so right. Oh man, it's shout out to BJ though, man. I know. Look, he want Aaron to get that title shot. Look, he want Aaron to get that title shot. Look, believe me, I do too. I just don't want it to be a title shot for Aaron. Like I want to see her get the belt too. Like believe me. Like somebody that been watching Aaron. Like I want to see her move through the right process to get it. She's got what it takes to be a contender. But now I want to just see, look, Aaron get that, get certain things right, clean up them holes, and she'll be good, right? That's all it is. Like that's all I'm saying on my part, BJ said y'all love Natalia. BJ don't like that, boy. He's like, y'all criticizing Aaron big time and Casey O'Neill. Oh boy. To be good show though. Good show. Everybody hit the like button if y'all enjoy hardcore fans talking fights. I mean, I have conversations like this in boxing too, so you know how it is. Like, I just go off of what I see. I just go off of what I got to look at and critique. That's all it is for me. And we just having fun. Okay, y'all. All right. Hold on. Just a second. Okay, I'm still here. Okay. Yeah, make sure to hit the like button, y'all, if y'all enjoy some good WMA conversation or wildness every now and then. 2B says, so Rose don't got a ground game, BJ. I mean, yeah, like we seen. Save that fuel for Saturday, 2Bs, because yeah, that's something like she got taken down in that fight. That's what you wanted to see, right? So I'm sure she's going to take that back to the drawing board and work on, do some homework. In essence, I hope the UFC makes Aaron fight Manon again. No, man, I want to see Manon and Grasso. He says stand on Natalia's ground game. Listen to BJ, boy. I mean, hey, you know what it is, man. Like a lack of criticism or critiquing for one fighter doesn't necessarily mean you hate the other fighter. It's just you got more to go on. That's all it is, right? Lack of critiquing doesn't mean you hate the fighter. It ain't even got to do anything. It don't have nothing to do with playing favorites. That's all it is. But as I said, I guess Natalia's 4 submissions must have happened by accident. 2B said we'll see each other Saturday. Yeah, because I'm actually gonna be working, but we'll see. We'll see when I get some time. I'll let y'all have a lot of that time, but I will try to come through definitely. I'll just remember, I'm gonna be working Saturday, but I'll come on through. I will come on through. Man, look at this. He turned an hour show into over 2 hours. He said he was only going to be 10 minutes, and look how long he took, man. He took up all that time. That's wow. I think you'll see some things though, man. Like you will see something in that fight. Hopefully, you get some questions answered, because I don't think overall people are saying Natalia Silva is going to go in this fight. Yeah, she's got what, 2, 4, 5 submissions? Yeah, she's got 5 submissions. She got 5 submissions on her belt. But we'll see. We shall see. Ramsey said, I guess a fight with doesn't exist. What does that say? A fight with Jasmine doesn't exist. Oh boy. Wang might stop Tracy Close instead. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. Mike Lee said, is there a fight set with Valentina and Natalia? Not yet. Not yet. And I'll probably, like I said, I'll do a video for sure, when it does. And we're going to talk about certain things. We're going to talk about the possibility of, Valentina making it a ground fight, because she has the ability to, but she also has the ability to keep it standing. Brian said nobody in here even said Natalia's going to beat Valentina. Right. I never heard anybody say she was going to go in there and smoke her, man. Like, That's what I'm trying to hear. Like, people saying she earned a shot, people saying she has a chance, a bigger chance than Aaron, is like not saying Aaron's a bad fighter or saying, oh, Valentina's gonna get smoked. I mean, yeah, I missed that part. I missed that part, BJ. That's what I'm saying. Like, I missed that part. Natalia, you know, she earned a shot. She's got a chance. That's all that's being said. All right, y'all. But that was a good show. Good show. Yeah, I probably won't be live again until Tuesday over here. That's what, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, like 5 days. So I just wanted to give y'all some time. But on that note, I'm getting up out of here, y'all. Appreciate y'all being in the chat for this wildness. Yeah, subscribe to BJ over at No Fields MMA, because I gotta go over there. You know, he want to come over here and infiltrate and take up some time, more than 10 minutes. So, you know, when I come over there, I'm gonna be on for more than 10 minutes. So that's how it is. Robot said that's well if she has a chance. It's nothing more. All right, yo. Make sure y'all hit the like and subscribe. I'm getting up out of here. Y'all take it over. I don't know. BJ feeling like he got to go live. No, don't. It's too late now.